morning, Mustangs. Miss Jones here, and we're going to start a new book, and this is called Liberty Porter, First Daughter. And the author is Julia DeVillers, and it's illustrated by Paige Pooler. Look at that. Liberty Porter, First Daughter. I wonder what that means. She's the first daughter. And I wonder where she is. Some of you might have a prediction about that. Let's take a look. Chapter 1. If your father is about to become president of the United States, there are a few things you might want to know. My prediction was correct. That looked like the Oval Office where the president sits. And her dad is about to become the president. Inauguration Day is the day a new president starts the job. Number 2, riding in the backward seat of the limo on Inauguration Day seems really cool, but it actually can make you kind of sick to your stomach. And then if you ask your dad to switch seats because you're feeling sick, don't forget that you put something on the seat next to you. A congratulations card that you decorated in glitter glue. And maybe the glitter glue hasn't exactly dried yet, and your dad sits on it. Liberty was learning all this new and important information today. Inauguration Day. It was a historical day for America and also a historical day for Liberty Porter. Well, now we know, Mustangs, that the main character is named Liberty Porter. Because Liberty Porter's father was the guy who was going to be president. This meant that Liberty Porter was about to be the first daughter. I don't know if you've heard before, but they call the president, if they have a wife or a husband, would be the first lady or the first man. And then the kids are the first daughters or the first sons. Liberty had been nonstop excited since the election, but she needed to be serious now for a moment. Liberty had watched out the windows as they'd driven through Washington, D.C., and now the limo had pulled up to the Capitol, the building where the country's laws are made. Her mother smiled at her as she slid out of the limo, and then her father was getting up too. Dad, Liberty said, before you get out, I have 2 things I have to tell you. Of course, honey, her dad said. The first thing is that I made you a card, Liberty said. The second thing is that it's stuck to, your butt. Her father turned around and looked surprised. He peeled the card off his pants and held it up. Phew! The glittery smiley faces had smudged, but the rest of the card still looked good. Well, thank you, he said. What a surprise. You usually just hand me the cards you make. Read it, Liberty said. Her father read out loud. You're prestastic. You're prestacular. You're president. Love, your first and only daughter, Liberty Porter. And you can see her little note to her dad right there. I love it, her father said. I'll hang it in my new office, the Oval Office. And what was the second thing you wanted to tell me? He asked her. The glitter glue wasn't dry, Liberty told him. Yeah, there were very smart, sparkly faces smiling from the back of his pants. The next few minutes were kind of busy. Liberty's family had to hurry because it was almost time for the big ceremony. But the new president couldn't exactly go with sparkly smiley faces on him. So first there was this whole, oh no, what gets glitter glue off a suit situation. The bad news was, you can't. The good news was, the suit jacket was long enough to cover it. Mostly. Well, now, I'm happy on the inside and outside, her father said. Liberty's father smiled at her, and she knew everything was totally fine. Everyone always said Liberty and her dad shared the same smile, black hair, and laugh. So finally, they were ready. Liberty followed her parents up the ginormous steps of the Capitol building. This was where a new president took the oath of office. Liberty's dad had told her a couple days ago that the oath of office was a promise. He would raise his right hand and in front of millions of people, he would say a promise to do his best as president. There had been fewer than 50 people ever who had been president of the United States. It started with George Washington, and today it would continue with William Porter. Liberty had put that fact in the research report she'd written the month before at her old school. It was all about presidents and their families. She'd called it What Happened Before the Porters Took Over the White House. Liberty had gotten an A+ on it. A+ equals awesomely perfect. She did not always get an A+ awesomely perfect on her homework. Liberty suddenly felt nervous. What if she was not an A-plus first daughter? What if she was really bad at being the first daughter? Liberty Porter, first daughter, first report card, F. First daughter, fail. Oh, she's worried she's not going to be good enough. Liberty's stomach suddenly felt sickish again. It's almost time, sweetie, her mom said to her. Liberty looked up at her mother. She looked very happy, but a little frozen. There were snowflakes melting on her mom's medium-length brown hair. Her mom's cheeks were almost as red as her deep red coat. Liberty shivered. She didn't know if it was from the cold or from her nervous feeling. Mom, Liberty said, I'm not 100% positive I know how to be first daughter. I think that's okay, sweetie, her mom smiled. You'll learn as you go. And to be honest, I'm not 100% positive I know how to be first lady. I've never been one before, you know. Well, at least I know I won't do what President Theodore Roosevelt's son did, Liberty said. He dropped a giant snowball off the roof of the White House onto a policeman's head. Then you're off to a good start, her mother said. And I'm not going to bring a pony into the White House elevator like he did either, Liberty said. And I appreciate that, her mother said. But some first kids had ponies and they never brought them inside. President John Kennedy's daughter had a pony named Macaroni. Yes, I know, Liberty's mom smiled, and I think I know where this conversation is heading. Oh, Liberty said, then I'll just skip straight to the part where I ask really nicely, may I please, pretty please, have a pony? Sorry, but no. Well, it was worth a try. However, you may take Franklin in the elevator, her mom said. He'll like that. Liberty's dog, Franklin, would like that. Thinking about her dog made Liberty feel much happier. Her mom reached over and gave her a big hug. Liberty suddenly felt the sickishness leave her stomach. Not all of it, but most. Daddy doesn't really know how to be president yet either, Liberty pointed out. I think we're all going to have to wing it. Sounds like a plan, her mom said. It's almost time, someone whispered. Places. Liberty's father came over and stood next to her. Liberty's father was about to become president of the United States of America. For real. Her father leaned down and looked her in the eye. My Liberty is about to become first daughter, he said to her. You will represent the children of America, the future of our country. Liberty's father raised his right hand like he was going to take an oath. He waited. Oh, Liberty had to take an oath too? She didn't know that part. Okay. She took a deep breath and raised her right hand too. I, Liberty Porter, promise to be an awesome first daughter. I will represent the children of America who are the future of our country. Liberty promised. Suddenly, Liberty knew she would. The oath made her feel official. It made her feel ready. Then Liberty's father let out a laugh. What? Liberty said. Did I oath my office wrong? I was just raising my hand to give you a high five. Her dad smiled. You didn't have to take an oath. Oh, that was kind of embarrassing. Her father raised his hand again, and Liberty gave him a high five. You don't have to be so serious. I don't want you to worry about a thing. Your job is just to be a 9-year-old, her father said. But I want to be serious, Liberty said. Liberty knew he said that to make her not feel pressure, but hello, she could be very helpful. All 9-year-olds knew that they were capable of big things, very big things. She wanted to oath her office. She wanted to tell her father she could help. She could be his assistant, but she didn't have a chance. Because suddenly and loudly a voice boomed over the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the oath of office. Okay, the real oath of office. And I'm going to stop right there. The chapter is not finished, but we will continue next time to see how it goes when Liberty's father is sworn in and takes the oath of office to become the President of the United States. All right, Mustangs, until next time, take care.